Here it is. Okay, so we are just going to kind of like impromptu and let Mariah speak straight from the heart and share what she has for you guys tonight. So we're going to just go straight into it, and I'm just going to turn it over to Mariah.
So Rebecca, do you have questions as we go through, or are we just rolling?
We're just going to go with it. If I think of anything, I'll ask.
That's all we prepared, you guys. We are still recouping from Jamaica and the jet lag and the way too early and too late. So we're going to run with it, but thank you so much for having me on. If you guys don't know me, I'm Mariah Newsome. I've been in the business for just over 5 years. I joined as a broken newlywed. Me and my husband, we got married in May, and I joined this business in July. So very quick. Me and my husband, we've been long distance our whole dating relationship. And I'm so excited to like get married, spend time with this guy. And all of a sudden I found that we had more quality time together while we were long distance than now that we were married and living together. I was working 40, 50 plus hours a week. I was having to commute 3+ hours a day. And my husband was finishing up school in South Georgia at the time. So, sorry, I got to mess my light a little bit. I couldn't see myself. But my husband was finishing up school in South Georgia, so he was commuting multiple times a week. And I just felt like everywhere I looked, I was reminded I was a failure. Like I was not having this marriage I thought I would. I barely even got to see him. We weren't making enough money to pay the bills. We didn't have enough time and energy to keep up with the house and the groceries and the laundry and all of these new responsibilities I had. And I remember just praying and being like, God, I felt like I was called for more. Like, I know you said that I'm called to a life of abundance, and I'm not living it right now. Like, there is nothing abundant about the situation. And I remember just praying, like, asking for something. And I never expected in my wildest dreams that I would be somewhere like this. I did not think you could actually make money online. And then I also wrote myself out. I'm the epitome of all the statistics. I was a college athlete. I had brain damage that caused me to step back from sports. And so if I get really nervous or anything like that, I can't articulate my words right. There's like a disconnect. So I'm not a good speaker. And I was like, I couldn't do this. And I was never a popular girl. I didn't have lots of friends. I never always fit in. So I was like, I can't do this. And then I came from poverty and I just grew up in that. I was the first person in my family to graduate college. And then in college, I was arrested multiple times. I was in and out of jail. And so I really just put all of these bounds on myself. I can't do this. I'm not the right person for something like this. And so when I saw the opportunity, no part of me expected it to be a thing. Now, I was in one sense an ideal distributor. I saw one post. That's all it took. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do this thing. But I never believed it was actually going to be something profitable. For me, it came down to two choices. One, the money that these people are talking about is not real. And I'm going to go on with my life and pretend I never saw this. But also know it would be really nice if it was real. Or the money that these people are posting online is not real. And I'm going to join this business and I'm going to prove it. And so I went option 2 and I joined the business to prove you could not make money online. And man, that had such a different plan for me. I promoted very quickly. I went Ruby in my first month. Emerald 2 months later, Diamond 3 months after that, and then Double Diamond 2 months after that. So by my 8th month in the business, I was Double Diamond, taking over insert income disclosure. I was making about $10,000 a month in 8 months in the business at Double Diamond. And it's so crazy looking at that because I was like, I did not believe you could make money online at all. It's like in the slightest. And God just can use sometimes scared guesses. Sometimes when we're saying yes to one thing, he uses it as a powerful thing to do something else. And so even something as small sometimes, guys, is saying yes to getting on a Zoom, saying yes to being in the conversation. You never know how God's going to use that one small act of faith to possibly transform and touch your entire life, or even so, someone else's life. Because if I wouldn't have had said that yes 5 years ago, my team and everyone that has joined me, everyone that I've impacted and affected, none of that would have happened the same. And so you just never know what saying yes and acting boldly in faith can do for you, even if it's not the faith of the yes that you're thinking it is. And so this business has afforded me so much over the last 5 years. Me and my husband both were able to retire from corporate America. We grew up not being able to like travel, experience life, and that kind of thing. And so when we got married, I mean, 2 months after getting married, we were in the business. 8 months later, so still in our first year of marriage, I was making a lot of money. And so we decided that we were just going to travel. And so we've lived all over this South. We lived in Florida, in South Carolina, in Georgia, and now North Carolina. And we were just able to go. We were able to pay debt, which is something that I literally did not know that you could do. My parents filed bankruptcy twice. My sister filed bankruptcy. I'm the first person in my family not to have to file bankruptcy. Like, I literally thought you just accrued debt until the court let it go. Like, I didn't know you could pay debt. I didn't know you could do some of the things that this business has allowed us. And more so than any of the financial wins, the person I am today, because I said yes then, guys, I love myself. Like, I love the person I've become. I love the power that I'm able to convey. I love the connections I'm able to make, the friendships. And none of that would have been possible without the yes to proving this business wrong 5 years ago. So all of that to start off and say, guys, whatever that yes meant for you, because you're all here. You all said yes, right? You all did the thing. So whatever that yes meant for you, that's got power in it. You're not here by a mistake. And I know we go through seasons in our business sometimes where it feels like it. It feels like the world is against us. It feels like no matter what we do, it's not working. Or even maybe you're new or not new. You're at a different point in your business and you're like, this isn't for me. Like, I'm not the one that can have this success. I get it. Me too, sis. Okay. I'm not the one that should have this success. I'm not the one who should be able to speak to people. I'm not the one who should be inspiring. I'm not the one with the story. I'm the one that's in the mess. I'm the one that, like, you don't want to invite to Christmas dinner, okay? Because you know I'm coming in with some kind of crazy stuff. Like, I'm that person, and I never thought I would have success and impact. But guys, God does the most with broken people. When you're broken, it's one of the favorite, like, if you know me, I'm a big analogy person. I like visuals. And so I love to think about that broken pot. Like, if you have a pot of clay back in the olden days, they would literally take it and break it so that when they put the light in it, it would come out. We think and disqualify ourselves from so much in life and in this business because we're not a perfect pot. We think that we need to show up in perfection. Well, I don't speak like Rebecca does. Well, I don't do reels like Macy does. Well, I don't, XYZ like this person. And because of that, I can't have success like them. But the thing is God uses and does the most with broken people. If you are perfect, there's nothing for God to do, right? There's no way for him to work in and through you. And so we want to start showing up authentically in our broken mess. I unlocked so much in my business when I started just showing up as me. Showing up flawed, showing up wild, showing up with a whole lot of Jesus and grace. And I just started walking authentically into what that looked for me. And because of that, my business has seen immense growth. So before I think of something to continue with, which I will, guys, you give me a stage, I will talk nonstop. Rebecca, do you have any things that you want me to specifically kind of like piggyback off of or talk on, or just keep rolling?
So one huge thing that we are working on right now is we have a lot of girls that have been in for a minute, and they are pushing for promotions this month. So girls that have, like, we've been plateaued a little bit and now we're taking off. So what would you say to those that have been kind of in a valley for a minute to keep them from getting kind of back into that place? What is one tip?
That's so good. That's a great one. So the business has ebb and flow. Like, you got to think of like big business, right? Like Walmart has seasons where they're not hitting the same levels they are in other seasons. Like, if Walmart's going to go through that, homegirl, you're going to go through that. Okay. Like, your business is going to have seasons. And I think it's important to know that to start with, because when it's great, it's going to slow down. When it's slowed down, it's going to get great again. Like, it's always going to flow. The only way not to get to the next season is to stop before you get there. So if you are showing up and you are plugging in, if you are doing the work, if you're staying consistent, you will get to the next season. But let me tell you, if you are in a rut, if you are in a slow season, if you feel like you're doing the things and it's not coming together, this is for you. Okay. Because you are in a unique position. it's really exciting when things are going good, right? And when things are going good, we want to be hyped. We want to do all the things. We're showing up and we're excited because it builds momentum. But the power is not in boom season. The power is not in momentum. It's in what you do before. My business has exploded over the past few months. Like 3 months ago, I think it was, my team had like 45 enrollments and like 7,000 in volume. We ended last month with over 100 enrollments, like over about 12,000 in volume. It's not being boom season, you guys, okay? I've never had growth like this in this season. And the cool thing is nothing that I'm doing in this season got me here. You don't need the momentum to build your business. It's what you do before. Because the thing is you've heard the parable, it talks about in the Bible, the two farmers. And one farmer goes out and he plows his field every single day during the drought. The other farmer, the neighbor, is like, homeboy, what you doing? Like, there's no rain. The weatherman said rain's not coming. Like, you're wasting your time and energy. But the faithful farmer showed up anyway. During the drought, he planted the seeds. During the drought, he tilled the land. During the drought, he continued. And guess what? God is a faithful, amazing, generous God. And the rain will come. The rain will come for your business. The only way you're not going to be there to receive it is if you're not there to receive it. The rain's coming one way or another. And so you get the choice now. You can be the farmer who is going to plant faithfully in the drought, who's going to show up today when you don't feel like it, who's going to do the work today when it's not fruitful, who's going to do it anyway. Or you can wait for the rain. But the thing is, the rain is coming. And if you plow and you do the work in the drought, when the rain comes, you will have abundantly, exceedingly more than you can imagine. And so I went into a season a year ago this October, and I was at CLB last year, and I was so broken. One of the lowest points of my life, and I didn't even realize how bad it was. And so we were at CLB, and I was having a conversation with Lisa Williams, and I'm not someone you say no to. I'm not used to hearing no. I pretty much get my way in most every situation. And we were talking about something, and she's like, Mariah, you're not ready. And I was like, what do you mean? That's incorrect. I'm ready for everything. What do you mean? And so I think I was broken enough. I was severely struggling with postpartum depression, and I didn't know it. My daughter was 6 months old and had not slept more than 2 hours straight at all. We had medical issues we were going through. We had family things going on. We had financial things going on. My business was crumbling because we had focused building wrong in previous seasons, focusing on those success bonuses instead of longevity, all kinds of different things. And I just felt like my whole life was ending. I felt like everywhere I was looking, it was falling apart. I earned this amazing trip, but I was a fraud because I didn't know how I was going to pay my bills when I got back home. Like, I was so broken that when she told me I wasn't ready, I was like, okay, I need to be ready. What does that mean? How do I get ready? And so I decided, I came home from CLB last year, and I decided that I just needed to wreck it all. Right? Everything sucked anyway. Why not let it get suckier? Why not let God fully take root of my life? And so I entered my season of, if you've heard me talk about it, I call it my purposeful destruction. Because the thing is if you want to remodel a house, you got to tear it down first. And so I went through a very aggressive season of allowing God to just uproot my whole life, to break down my business, to break down my marriage, to break down my finances, to break down my mental health, to break down the way I was parenting, to literally destroy everything so it could be rebuilt solid. It could be rebuilt on his foundation instead of my own, instead of my striving and my hustling and my showing up and my doing and the XYZs. I wanted it all first built in him. And so over this past year, it's been a whole heck of a lot of that, right? Because I said when I started giving you guys my stats a couple minutes ago, that was 3 months ago. Okay, a year is a lot more than 3 months. And so was it 9 months, guys? 9 months, I did not see it. 9 months, I was fighting tooth and nail, wondering how the heck I was going to get it together. 9 months, I was working and not seeing the results. 9 months, I was like, I don't know what else to do. Like, I don't understand, but I'm going to trust and I'm going to do it anyway. And I'm going to show up, and I feel like a failure, and I'm getting asked to speak on Zooms. And of course, I'm going to say yes, but I'm also like, what the heck could I offer? Because my life is crumbling around me. How am I going to do this? I'm showing up still. I'm talking about the mess. I'm open on my social media. I'm talking about what God's doing, but I'm not seeing the results. I'm doubting it. I'm wondering it for 9 months. And then And then rain came. And because I didn't wait for the rain, I'm having business bigger in this season than I ever have. I mean, we were literally set, like I had a diamond pop. I had a diamond pop last month, you guys. What? This late in the year? What? One person go diamond on my team in 5 years without me doing it. I had someone go diamond. I had 2 people go ruby without me, just doing it on their own. We're set this month to have a diamond, 3 new emeralds, and however many rubies. That's like 6 or 7 rubies. Like we have so many in November. Like what? And I'm not saying that to toot my own horn and talk about how awesome my team is, although I do think they're pretty dang cool. But it's because I didn't decide to show up now. I didn't decide to, keep doing it and wait for boom season, wait for some momentum or something like that. I decided to be faithful when I didn't see it. I decided to trust God and take him at his word, y'all. He says that he's got something a bigger and a more abundant for you. He said that he wants the greatest thing for you. He says the answer to your prayers are yes, or your blessings and all the things and your wantings are yes and amen. There's so much for you. It's time to take him at that. Hold him to his word. Because in the Bible, again and again and again, it's saying that you were called for more, that there's more for you, that you were destined for greatness, that you are created for a time such as this. But we want to discredit ourselves, and we want to say that doesn't mean today, that's like in the future, that's like what's coming. Like, homie, no. God means that for you now. And when we show up at what God wants for you in the future, that big, wild, audacious, scary, crazy dream you have, it's no longer a future thing, it's a today thing. Why not? Why not walk into it today? Why not show up as it today? Because God can do exceedingly and abundantly greater things, and there's no timetable. There's no written rule. You got to suffer this long before it happens, or you got to do it this long before it happens. You just start showing up authentically, that everything that you are called to, it is already yours. Because every dream, every goal, everything, it exists 2 places, guys, okay? It always exists in here, but once it exists in here, if you stay focused on it, it exists out here too. So if you're thinking the goals, you're halfway there. You're halfway there. Now it's time to start continuing the work, to continuing planting the seed, especially if you don't see it. If you guys are seeing some momentum, if you're seeing some stuff happening, then this one part's for you. All of that was for you other people who are going to be planted in the drought, because that harvest is coming, you guys, okay? Now for the other half of you that are already hype, already getting some momentum building, the laws of nature, the laws of Isaac Newton, one of those awesome people out there that were smart, says something about, an object in motion stays in motion. I'm sure you've all heard that in school. That goes for your business. Your business is in motion. Keep that dang sucker in motion, because the second you put the brakes, it's going to decelerate. It's going to stop. And you guys, I came into this realization a couple months ago when this momentum really kicked off for my business. I remember sitting and I was having a glass of wine with Courtney Gretza, one of my sidelines, and we were just talking, and I was like, what if this doesn't end? What if this momentum just doesn't end? Have you ever thought that? Because I haven't before. You're going to be in boom season, and you're going to be in Christmas season, okay? you're going to be in summer, you're going to fight that, the seasons. But what if it never ended? What if your business always had momentum? How would you show up if you knew what you did today directly affected the momentum of tomorrow? If there was no outliers, if there was no seasons, if there was nothing else affecting it but just the way you showed up, how differently would you start taking ownership of your day, your time, and your business, knowing that it directly falls on you? And the cool thing is, you guys, it does. Because what's going around in the world around you, it has nothing to do with your business. So what it's Christmas, someone's going to sign a customer. So what it's the holiday, so what it's, XYZ, someone's going to do it. Why can't that be you? Because there's absolutely nothing disqualifying you. There's absolutely nothing innately wrong with you. There's absolutely no reason you can't have insane success in this business and in your life. And it's all up to you to just freaking show up, to just do the thing. Because I can guarantee you, if you're not where you want in this business, that's your own dang fault. And I say that with all the love and grace I could possibly convey to you, but it's your own dang fault. And I'll take that on myself. I was sitting at this past green carpet, and I was like, dude, I definitely should be triple by now, okay? I definitely should. And a lot of times, you know, I came in, I don't have an upline. I didn't really have an upline in this business. I fell forward for a lot of years, trying to figure out what the heck to do on my own. I was best friends with YouTube. Like, I use that as not, it's almost a victim mentality. I allowed it to be a crutch for a long time. And of like, well, I don't have help. I have no one to ask questions for. Like, trust me, if you like had conversations with me now, like you'd be like, you don't know what this is? No, y'all, I was selling Thermophyte at the time. I was selling Thermophyte, telling people it was coffee because I had no idea what the products even were. I had nothing, okay? And I used that for so long to be like, well, I'm not triple yet because I didn't have a good leader to show me how to get there. And then I was like, screw that. I mean, I got this. This is my own business. But I pivoted too hard. So then I was like, in spite of everything, I'm going to go triple and I'm going to make it happen and I'm going to blaze the way. And then I just started steamrolling. And the cool thing is, guys, when you just let go of all of that and you just start showing up, things can start happening. Your business can start growing and you don't have to force it. You don't have to be something. There's nothing wrong with whatever situation you're in. There's nothing wrong with the timing. One of the most powerful things I've ever read in my life, I was reading a Devo, and it's crazy how God works sometimes because I've gone back to that same devotion book and I cannot find this entry anywhere. But in there, it started out with saying is you've got to let go of the like disillusion that you are meant to be further than you are. Like, dang, dang. Because how many of you feel that? You're like, I've been in for 10 minutes. I should at least have a PM bonus. Or I should at least have one customer. Like, I've been in for 4 years. I should at least be diamond. I've been in for 2 months. I should at least be executive. Like, right? We feel that. We struggle with that. We repeat back to that place. But I want you to know that if you can be where you're at and that be okay. You're not here by mistake. You're not falling back a rank by mistake. You're not promoted by a mistake. There's someone that needs you to fight the battle of today, of this place, of where you're at before you can go to the next level. A lot of times we want to say that we're here and it's like our fault. Like, we aren't good enough or we're not XYZ, but you know what? Sometimes it has nothing to freaking do with you. Like, we're not actually that big a deal sometimes, okay? Like, we're not sometimes. It's because someone needs your story. Someone needs you to give them their strength, that you did it first, that you sat there first, that you struggled first, that you were like stepped back first. And by showing up consistently, you're not just fighting for yourself, but you're fighting for your future team. And so I tangented because I completely forgot my point, but it just came back. So we're good. But if you're not where you want to be in this business, that is your fault, okay? Because I can guarantee you're not showing up as consistently or working as hard as the person at the place you're going is showing up. And I mean that with love and grace, because I'm the same. If I actually showed up consistently, if I actually did all the things I want to do and know I should do, guess what? I would definitely be triple. No doubt. Like 1,000,000,000% I would have already promoted, probably a lot sooner. But if we break it down, the truth is I don't do all the things I need to be doing every day. And I'm working on it. I'm in a different season. I'm changing and pivoting and doing things. But it took me so many years of just digging in my heels, thinking what I was doing was enough. And I don't want to try reels. It's too much work, okay? I don't want to do the stupid dances and make the stupid videos. I don't got time for that. I don't have time to love people, okay? That's a real one there. I don't have time to care about my team. I don't have time to take the energy to ask how their day is, okay? If you guys can't tell, I'm pretty red, type A personality. I don't have time for it. I don't have time to check in with my customers to see if the products worked. Like, I don't have, like, all of these reasons, right? All those reasons are why I'm not triple. I was fighting the areas, and the areas for me even that were my power. My power is not writing Facebook posts, okay? Every single post almost is definitely someone else wrote it and I just copied it. Okay? That's not my power. I'll do it. I'll put it up there. That's not my power. My power is my voice. My power is my ability to call dreams out of people that they didn't know they had. My power is to make people believe in themselves and feel like they could go fight Goliath when they thought that they were the size of a freaking mouse or something, right? Like that's my power. And I was allowing that to be removed from everything. I wasn't taking the time to build the relationships. I wasn't taking the time to care about people. I wasn't taking the time to inspire and love and really genuinely allow my gift to start seeping out into my business. And when I started, everything changed. I got followers on TikToks and stuff. Now, y'all, I'm still working on that whole real thing. Okay. I'm trying. I'm still working over there. But I started my team. Like, I know what my team needs. Like, I know how to talk to my team. I have a girl, like, her house caught on fire. It was crazy situation. It wasn't a lot of damage, but I was the first person she called. She lives in Texas. Okay. There's nothing I could do. But, like, I was the first one she called because she's like, I just know you care and I know you'll pray for me. A year ago, ain't nobody about to call me about something personal. Like, if it's not directly related to this business, you know, I ain't got no time. But because I've taken the time to grow into who God's calling me to be. This business is an amazing tool to help you grow into your best version of yourself. This business is an amazing tool to help you reach your full potential. This business is an amazing tool to help you 10x your income. This business is an amazing tool to help you get healthy. But you guys, this business is not your purpose. God did not put you on this earth to go and rack some reps, okay? Like, God did not put you on this earth to sling some skinny coffee. That God did not put you on this earth to go make $10,000, okay? You have a purpose so much bigger than this business. And look at this as a tool and vehicle to help you reach your purpose. And it allows you to have more freedom, excitement, and to grow differently. I was on a Zoom with Meredith Teason, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, and she was talking about goals and purpose, and it was so good. And she was talking about so often we think of our goals as our purpose. Like, our goal is to go triple. And so my purpose right now is going triple, right? Like, that's the vision. We got to get to triple. But the thing is, vision when aligned with purpose instead of a goal, it unlocks power. Because how many of you guys feel that in some point in time in your business? You're like, well, maybe if I could get my team to catch the vision, we could promote. Okay, drop a 1 if you felt that. Because we struggle with that. But the thing is when we can start aligning that vision is purpose, because this business is not your purpose. And so when you're trying to convince people to XYZ for this business, the business isn't their purpose. But if you can start really diving into purpose of your team, your business, your life, and then helping your team dive in and discover that as well. My team, we're called the legacy builders because we're here to do more than just this business. Okay. We're here not just to make an income for ourselves, not just to break chains for ourselves, but to create a legacy that's going to outlive us, that's going to transcend generations, that's going to affect teams completely unrelated to my success because I'm here to do something bigger. That's my purpose. That's my vision. And when I get bold and when I fall into that and I stay connected to that, my team starts promoting, my team starts enrolling, not because I'm conveying to them how we're going to go triple or how you're going to go ruby, but because we're here for something bigger. When you show up for what God is truly doing in your life with this business, because this business is such a beautiful, incredible, crazy tool and platform that can just launch you so much further than anything else, I believe. But when you look at it as just a tool and use it to help better and further your purpose, that's calling on your life, that's when you're really, really going to see the big success that you're looking for. So I think we're probably at 30 minutes. So I don't know how long your Zooms go, Rebecca. I don't want to keep talking. If you have any other questions or things you want me to jump on, I will.
So 30 minutes is perfect. I'm fine with going over. I'm a talker too, so my girls are usually on here for like an hour when I get the mic. But one last thing I would love for you to share. I think it was you. I really do. I think it was you. Okay, so on a Diamond and Above call, I heard, pretty sure you share about, I know you didn't call it this, but in my head, that's how I received it. So that's how I have mine written down, an emergency evacuation, like task list. So like the list of like non-negotiables that you do So mine's wrote down as an emergency evacuation. I know that's not what you said, but that's what I wrote down.
That was me. You're making me nervous. You started talking. I'm like, I don't know what she's talking about. Like, what if this wasn't me? I was gonna try to make you feel good, and I was gonna go off of whatever you said anyway. I was ready to just BS my way out of this.
Oh my god.
That was me. So we're good. So yeah, I started this early in my business because life happens, right? Like crap happens. You're not going to have a perfect day every single day. Life's going to happen. People are going to pass away. You're going to get sick. You're going to have a vacation. Like crap's happening. And so I always have my task list, and then I have a oh crap list. And so my oh crap list is just on those days where you're like, oh crap, this happened. I'm still going to show up and do this. And it's something so minuscule, you guys. Like, I'm not out here rocking and rolling. I'm not out here doing one shift or nothing like that. It's literally, it varies, and I don't have it written in front of me. I haven't used it in a little bit, so I don't even know exactly what's on it, but it's something along the lines of like 2 tasks that I know will help grow my business and allow me the space to be present. And so it's like send out 10 host to post messages and do my next day follow-ups. I know those are typically always on there. I won't even post sometimes, but I've got something that I know if oh crap XYZ happens, I'm going to send out 10 host to post messages and I'm going to do my next day follow-up. So I'm keeping conversations going, and I've done those in the hospital. I did those while I was in labor. I did those at a funeral. I did it on vacation. Like, it's when oh crap life happens, and yeah, there's a day every now and then it doesn't happen. Okay, like I get that, but when you have a plan B, because I know you guys have heard it's failure to plan, or like failing to plan is planning to fail. So life's gonna happen. Have something in the works. Like you were saying, like an emergency evacuation plan, or however you put it. Like, I love that because it's just giving yourself a route. And when you make it so simple, it's not heavy, it's not overwhelming, it's something easy you can do in like 5 minutes. But the thing is, though, is why it's so important. One, you're still showing up for your business in some way. But 2, it allows you to have the grace to actually be present in the drama, to be present in the emergency or whatever is happening, because you're not sitting there being like, this is going on, but I really need to work, and I didn't get any host up, and I should have done this, but then this was going on, and we get in our heads, right? And we beat ourselves up, and we want to make ourselves feel guilty because life's happening and we're not showing up the way we need to. But if you're already planning for this, then I can send out 10 host to post messages and do my next day follow-ups, which on a random Tuesday is definitely going to make me feel like crap because I'm like, oof, that was not enough work. My business is falling apart. I should have done more. But on a day when it's an emergency, I'm so dang proud of myself for showing up anyway. And now I have grace to deal with what's going on. It takes me 5 minutes, and then now I can be fully present. I can be mentally there. I can deal, I can be and do whatever I actually have to do, and I don't have to stress and worry about my business. And it helps keep momentum going. Coming back from Jamaica, y'all, I had this great plan that I was still going to work while I was in Jamaica. I could tell you it didn't happen. Okay. I did. If y'all know my like task list, I do shifts. So we have 3 shifts each day. I did 1 shift one day and that was it. And so today it's been real difficult to get my work done. Like I did all 3 of my shifts, but it was like tooth and nail. The worst thing in the world trying to do. I felt awkward. It took me longer because I'm just not in the flow of it. Because I took full time off, which is nice. And you do got to do that, you guys. It's okay to have time off. I'll come back to that time off if I remember. But so I didn't do anything. Been really hard to get back into it. But the thing is you feel that with emergencies, right? Like my daughter, we had to take her to the emergency room in the hospital a couple weeks ago, and it was in the evening, so I was able to have gotten some work done that morning. But like even then, like there was an emergency, and then the next day I didn't really get my work done the same, and it was just like real tough. But if you already have a plan, right? It's not like you're just winging it. You have a plan. You're just doing a different task list that day. It allows you to keep momentum going for your business. It makes it a little bit easier to jump back in. And you guys, take time off, okay? Take a Sabbath. We don't talk about it enough anymore. It was a big, like, fad thing a couple years ago. And some people handled it well. I feel like a lot of people talked about it in a way that it didn't resonate with me, so I didn't do it. But here I am booming and building my business, and I can promise that if you don't start practicing a Sabbath in the drought seasons, it's gonna be way freaking harder to do it in the boom season. But you've got to. And like we talk about tithing, right? You give God his 10%, you give 10%, but we got to talk about tithing our time, because it's the same thing. Not tithing your money is being stuck in your ego of, I need it, I did this is mine. That money was never yours, homie. Like that was straight up God's money to start with. You're just like paying the tax. You're just giving him what was his. And so it's you got to do it. And so the same thing's with your time. God even took a full day off. So when God created the entire universe, he was like, you know what? I can still afford a whole day off. Your business is not important, okay? Like your business is not quite on the same level as creating the universe. And if God can afford time off, so can you. And the cool thing is, God can do so much more in 6 days than you ever could do in 7 days. You know, I was part of it, but nowadays I don't believe in hustle culture, you guys. I don't believe you need to be working 24/7. I don't believe that you need to be able to respond to messages as they come in. I don't believe that you got to sacrifice everything to build your business. I believe that there is time and there is grace, and this is a season where you can have it all. I don't want you to sacrifice. I mean, I remember back in the olden days, we literally would have Zooms like 2 days before Christmas to game plan how you were still going to work on Christmas, because people were like, going to like, they were like, oh, they'll have to eat at some point so you can still message. I'm like, whoa, now looking back, like it's just so not it, because God can do so much more in such little time, and it is okay to experience life. I do Sabbaths on Sunday. I'm really involved with our church, and so we have a young married group that's like 2 hours long every other Sunday, and it's real hard to work a full day of business. You have to take like 2 hours off. Okay, that's a long time to not have your phone. So I just started writing in that Sundays are my Sabbath, and it's become this whole thing. Like me and my husband, we're big outdoors people. So on Sundays, like one Sunday we've got our group, the next Sunday we go hiking or on an adventure. And so it's built into our culture as a family now that this is what we do. We eat out on Sundays. Like we don't eat out during the week. We go out to dinner on Sundays with my daughter. And, you know, she's learning, growing up in the environment of Sunday's a family day. Like it's fully us. And it's so nice to have that. I was talking to someone over this past weekend in Jamaica, and we were talking about mountains, right? Because you hear about mountains and valleys, right? In the valley, then you get to the mountaintop. Which one's bigger? Like, which is bigger, the valley or the mountaintop? It's a trick question. Okay, you don't have to answer, because it's in between. It's the journey, and we don't talk about that. We talk about how you got to survive the valley and you got to enjoy the mountaintop because the next valley is coming. But guys, the longest part of that is up and down the mountain. It's the travel. It's the journey. And if you're only worried about how you're going to get out of the valley, and if you're only worried about the promotion, you're missing your life. Because in this business, you promote 8 times. And if you're waiting for it, you're missing your life. You are not here to go ruby. You are not here to earn a successfulness or your builder bonus. You're not here to go diamond. You're not here for that. You're here to live. Don't be focused too hard on hustling that you forget to enjoy life, because guys, your promotion is not going to be magical. I wish it was. I wish I could tell you that you could finally cross that line and it would all change. Like, I wish I could be like, you know what, Mariah, when you go triple, like your life, it's going to be amazing. You're going to have all the money. You're going to feel great. Everything's going to be amazing. But you know what, guys, the truth is it's not. When I go triple that 31st, that first, my life is going to be the exact same. I'm going to feel the exact same. Honestly, I'm gonna be living in the same paycheck because we still gotta wait 15 days for that check, okay? Like nothing in my life is going to change. And if I'm sitting here doing everything I can just to get there, when I get there, I'm not gonna be able to continue. My life is not all of a sudden gonna be great. I'm gonna be disappointed. I'm gonna have to deal with all these emotions, because the thing is now is your life. Your life does not start when you hit something. Your life does not start when you make more money. Your life does not start when you get to come home with your kids. Your life does not start then. It's now. And if you're waiting for that, you are missing it. You are missing impact. You're missing relationship. You're missing time. And you cannot get that back. You got to find a balance that allows you to continue to strive and fight. Okay. I'm not saying not to work hard. Okay. You got to work hard. But you got to work smart and you got to work good, because you were meant to live this life now, not then. And if you wait for then, you guys, you're going to miss so much of it along the way.
That was so good, Mariah. Thank you. I won't keep you any longer unless you have anything else to add, but that was so good. Thank you for coming tonight and pouring into us, even though I know you have jet lag and you're probably wanting to be with your babies from being with, at Jamaica and stuff. But by the way, before we let you go, do you have any secrets you want to leak?
We really didn't have big announcements, so I don't have any big secret announcements for you guys. I do think though that Christmas Cash is coming December 1st. So that's not a fact, don't hold me to it, but I do think Christmas Cash is being launched on the 1st. So that's the best I got for you.
That's what I've heard. Yeah. I've heard it's coming soon. So I'm excited for it. All right. Well, thank you so much. And I will get you this recording in case you want to send it out to anyone. And I just appreciate your time. If y'all have questions, y'all can go ahead and drop them in the chat. I'll be quiet for a minute and give you guys a chance. But other than that, I'll log it out in like 1 minute. All right. I don't think anybody has anything because I don't see anything popping in. All right. Thank you so much, Mariah. Good night, guys.